DBS community, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over the final deck from the anniversary support. I know it's been quite a long journey, but now we've gotten to the final deck, which is going to be Prism Bardock, Prismatic Striker. Prism Bardock is probably the name that most people will go by. This is a black deck that has the ability of playing. It's the first deck, I believe the only deck currently in the game that plays almost a strictly multicolor black strategy, which is very cool. I actually find this deck to be very interesting. I really enjoy the fact that this deck has a lot of attributes from other colors, and it really makes it its own. Obviously, being able to be a black deck now, and how the meta has been shifting and how black's been getting a lot more support does help this deck a little bit. I know this archetype is pretty heavy in what it wants to play with the SS4 cards. So we'll go over the strategy and show you guys what I came up with the new support card. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. As I said in the, I don't remember which video it was, but after these next a week or so of videos, I probably won't be putting out videos for at least another week or two. I want to do some rebranding of the just how the videos look, and since we're getting close to the end of the year, I want to get stuff kind of ready for whenever Fusion World comes out. The digital client, to be specific. So with Bardock, has a permanent that reduces the combo cost and the energy exhaust, indicates the energy exhaust of all black multicolor battle cards with SS4 in their card names, which is very good. So it makes them all, because I think all of them are one cost combos, so they're all free. And then permanent for each color in your battle area and energy area. This card gains 2k, and that's just a permanent. That's up to a maximum of 10. So this card can be a 15k on the unawakened side. All right. When you attack on this side, you search top 5 and add any black card with SS4 in its name, which is pretty relevant, I would say. An awaken, you awaken at 3 life, or if you have 4 more colors in your battle area and energy area, then you draw 2. So what's interesting about this is a black and a red. Like if you have a black red card, that card counts as two colors, right? Then if you have a black green card, right? You already have black, so now you have green. That's 3. So you basically just need 4. You basically need black and then 3 other colors in your energy area or battle area in order to awaken early. So you can awaken. I think the earliest would be turn 2, but you do want to make sure you have 4 energy, 4 different colors that are not black for the awakened side. So on the awakened side, when you attack, you gain the following effects in order according to the non-black colors represented in your energy and your battle area. So if you have 2 or more colors, again, not black, so blue and red, for instance, right? You will gain 5k, and you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. When you have 3 at the end of the turn, you get to restand an energy, and then at 4, you draw a card and you remove a marker from a unison. So at 4 energy, once you have all 4 colors, all 4 non-black colors represented, you will be a 20k leader swinging. You'll tap down a battle card. You'll restand an energy. You'll draw a card, and you'll remove a marker off of a unison. That's a lot. It's a lot. This deck has a lot of, and man, it just has so much utility, right? Just based off the leader alone, right? Like you're tapping down something, you're swinging 20k, which is relevant now since you don't actually have a Z leader, and you're taking a marker off of unison, and you're restanding an energy. Like you're doing so much. So very good deck, very good leader. Let's go over the archetype so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So we have 4 of the new Prismatic Radiance. This is a 2-drop Goku. You can play for 1 black if your leader is this leader. And when it's played, you search top 5, and you basically do the same thing that the non-awakened side does. You get to search up, for an SS4 card. Activate if you have 2 or more non-black cards represented in your energy area, and you add this card to your hand, you get to play a 3-drop or less multicolor black battle card. A multicolor battle card. Yeah, black multicolor battle card. That costs 3 in rest mode from your hand. So you can only play particular cards that are 3 cost, right? So there's only really, I think, 1 that we play in this particular build. But this is a very good card. So being able to actually play this card, draws a card, you can pop it back to play another card, and you can play down again for 1, is very, very good. This card gives the deck so much value and finally gives you a turn 1 play that you actually want to do. For more yellow, we have Prismatic Aegis. All of the Aegis cards, when they're basically the cards that have this art, whenever they are charged whenever they're placed in your energy area or they're played, they gain an effect. So this one chooses a 4 or less battle card and negates its skill until your opponent's next turn. And then when this card's played, you get to switch a card to rest mode, and if that card is a skillless, you get to KO it. So not a lot of unique, there's not a lot of skillless engines running around, so this card doesn't have a ton of viability. But being able to place this card down and then just blank a card is good. Like the KOing part, you're probably not going to do a lot, but being able to just like charge this and just like pop a card's effect, it's pretty good. So like double striker, dual attacker, things like that. Also, we do need yellow energy, so that's why we're playing it. We're also playing the Ready to Strike, which evolves on top of either one of those Gokus. Xeno evolves, meaning it comes in an active mode. And when this card's played or your opponent attacks, you burst a card. If that card is a black Saiyan, your opponent whoops the card from their hand. So we add this in for the versatility that this card actually brings to the deck. It's not a fantastic card. It's not like a 4 of or nothing, but again, it's a yellow card, so we can charge it, and it just has an evolve ability. So like that is really cool too. Like we can swing with a 16k, and then we can evolve into a 20k, burst a card, and then if that card is a Saiyan, our opponent warps a card from their hand. So it has a little bit of hand hitting ability to it, but again, just another yellow card. We're gonna move on to the blue, where we have 4 of the Prismatic Radiance. This is the new Vegeta. It's a 10k if you have 2 or less non-black cards in your energy. Once you have 3, it becomes back to a 16k. But when this card is played, you draw 1 and play up to one multicolor black card. Then it costs 2 from your hand. Additionally, if there are 4 or more colors in your energy, add up to 1 card from your hand to one of your energy to your hand. If you do, add a card from your hand to your energy. So this kind of gives you the Master Roshi effect. We're able to pick up an energy and put an energy down. But the cool thing about this is that it doesn't say in rest mode. So we just get to put an energy down and we just gain an energy. So like this is a fantastic card, right? And also it draws you a card and it plays another card. So this card can actually play, like you can go into Prismatic Radiance Vegeta, draw a card, play out Goku, and then draw another card. So like that's a ton of value. And that also restand an energy that you just use to play the Vegeta. So very good card. 2 Ready to Strike, kind of similar thing to the Goku, just another blue target. This one evolves on top of Vegeta's, but also the burst effect is when it's played or your opponent attacks. If it's a Saiyan that you burst, you get to draw a card. So this one draws you a card. Goku warps a card from your opponent's hand. I think it's just fitting to have these cards in the deck because they're just other searchable targets and just more utility for the deck. 4 Prismatic Aegis. This one is a 16k crit that you get to choose a card in your opponent's hand and bottom deck it, and then they draw a card. And then when this card's played, you draw 2 and bottom deck a card. So this card's also going to just help you cycle through your deck, but also a 16k crit, which is pretty relevant. Moving on to Prismatic Burst. This is the only Prismatic Burst. I don't run I mean, not the only one in the deck, but I don't run the Goku one. They have the same effect where you can combo them for 1 black and play them. This is the card you're going to play off of the Goku here. So I'm only running 3. This card, you end up drawing it pretty often, right? Between your leader and your Goku effect, you're probably going to see it. And you play it off the Goku, and then you can tap 1 black to send it to the warp to then play a 2-drop from your hand. Then at the end of your turn, you add this card back from the warp to your hand. So essentially, you play Goku, you will activate the effect, bounce Goku back to your hand, play the Vegeta, and then Vegeta, you can either tap the black, and you can either play a Vegeta or a Goku, or like Prismatic Aegis, or either one of these Prismatic Aegis cards. But what's cool is that, so you can go, let's say Goku turn 1, right? Turn passes, next turn, you swing with Goku, you then pop Goku, bounce it back to hand, play the Vegeta, tap 1, warp it, play Vegeta, Prismatic Radiance, right? And then Prismatic Radiance will then play Goku. So then you'll draw the card, and then draw another card off Goku. And you get a 10k and a 16k. Or you can go into Prismatic Aegis. Like I said, you have different things you can do. Because you can get this card back, that's the only reason why I'm running this one. The Goku, the Prismatic Goku, I put it in the side deck, which I don't really build side decks for this video. So it's just kind of, I wanted to show what the card did. It actually is very relevant in matchups that have unisons, since the on-play effect hits unisons. But this one bounces a 3 or less back to your opponent's hand if you play it off that effect. All right, we have 3 Prismatic Bardock. This is your counterplay. Hits 20k or lesses. And if you have 2 or more black multicolor, you can pay a life and then reduce this card by 1 black, so it costs 1 red. Very devastating card. This card's quite annoying to deal with because it can hit 20Ks. Very good card. Very, very good card. And then we have Prismatic Radiance Bardock, which is another new card. It's a 16K barrier. It has 3 different activate mains on this card. Technically 2 activate mains. The first one is if you have four total non-black colors represented among black multicolor cards in your energy, you send 1 SS4, the Vermilion Saiyans, from your hand to the warp, and you place this card on the drop. Activate the activate main skill on that card sent to the warp, and then add that card to your hand at the end of the turn. So what is that card? Right. Well, we're gonna go over that card real quick. The Vermilion Saiyans. This is your secret where you play in the deck. So counterattack. If each color among cards in your for each color among cards in battle areas and energy areas, choose up to one of your opponent's battle card ignoring barrier and send it to the owner's warp. Then for each card sent to the warp using this skill, choose up to one of your leaders and it gets 5k power for the turn. So this is a 1-drop, like a 1-drop just board wipe. That's basically going to shut off your opponent's turn. For every color, so you have black, red, blue, yellow, green, right? If you have every color imaginable in your energy, you can warp up to 5 cards, ignoring barrier, and then for each card that you warp, you gain 5k for the turn. So it's not only like a gigantic bean for your leader, you also can kind of board wipe your opponent. That's already as good as it is. But the activate main on this card, if your opponent has 4 more energy, play up to 4 multicolored black cards with different card names, energy cost of 2 from your deck, and shuffle your deck. So this is the effect you get off of the Bardocks. You can actually use the Bardock effect to then play out, to basically use the Vermilion Saiyans effect from your hand, play out 4 cards, and then add it back to your hand at the end of the turn. And then now you can use it on your turn as a floodgate. Very, very good. Very, very good effect. So if you look here, so like this guy, when this card's played, starts top 5. When this card's played from your hand, so you don't get the effect on this. I'm pretty sure the rest of these are played from hand. So you don't really get a lot of these effects, except for the Goku effect. But I'm pretty sure you also can play out the Bardock here. So you also can play out another Bardock. Then Bardock has another effect, activate main, if your leader is this leader. You switch card to rest mode. Choose one of your battle cards with SS4 in its card name and gains dual attack for the turn. So any of these cards here you can give dual attack to. And then any of the SS4 cards we're going to have that you're going to see, we can give dual attack to as well. So this card is very good. It's honestly, it's very, I would say the big problem with this deck, and we've kind of already gone over it, me and Kenny, because Kenny's really excited to play this deck, is this deck does not have any deflect. So like having a counterplay kind of shuts off a good portion of this card's deck. But you have to have them. So if they have it, they have it. If they don't, they're going to get punished really hard. 3 Prismatic Burst Gohans. This is your 2-drop negate, and then for every color that your opponent has in their energy, they can only attack with battle cards in unison that many more times. So if they're a monocolored deck, they get 1 more attack for battle cards in unisons. And you can pay 1 for this. If you have 3 or more multicolored cards in your energy and battle area, you reduce the black cost, so it becomes a 1-drop green, which is pretty good. 3 Prismatic Aegis Gohans, 16k double striker that also can pop something 4 or less when it's played, or when it's played or put in your energy, you take off a marker, a unison with 3 more markers off it, and remove 1. So a little more unison removal. Alright, we have Indomitable Might SS4 Gogeta. So this card is crazy for multiple reasons. We'll get to one in the side deck. But this card has its cost reduced by 1. So this is a 10k combo for free. So the Android 21 is not the only deck that has a free 10k pseudo combo, which is very cool. You can tap 3 for this. If you have black or red Saiyans in your energy or battle area, you play this card from your hand, you give your leader 5k till the end of your next turn. Then your opponent warps a card from their hand, and then you neg 2 of your opponent's battle cards by 30k. Pretty good effect. With this leader, obviously it costs 2 because you have the ability of resending an energy off of your leader. So this card is just good to run. It's just a 10k combo. So like at the end of the day, if you don't use this card to ever play it, it's just a 10k combo. We have 3 Super Saiyan Vegeta super combos, and then 1 Supreme Kai. Supreme Kai is kind of a cool tech, so Kenny, who plays this deck a lot, was like, man, he's like, when you build this deck, make sure you put a Supreme Kai super combo in the deck. And I'm like, why? I don't know why I would play this over Vegeta. Well, the effect of it, limit once. You can only do this once, so if you have one of them, it's fine. When this card's used in a combo from your hand, you draw one. This card gets 2k for the 2k combo power for the battle for each color in your energy. So essentially, it gains it can gain a total of 10k, so it becomes an 11k combo. I would say it's pretty valuable, and it also draws you a card, so it's just a good one of to have. It's kind of like this deck's version of the Bobbity super combo from a long time ago. It's a very similar concept, right? So not searchable. Neither is the other super combo, so that part I don't think matters. But I agree. I think just running this as a one of, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. It's a good card to have. One Beyond All Limits, one Heated Fighting Spirit. They are SS4, so you can search them. Back in the day where you could play fighting against Fates, that was a great overwhelm for this deck. But now we have to settle for this, which is fine. Beyond All Limits grabs back literally any of your pieces, and then Vegeta is a 30k crit. You can play for one if you have Goku in play, or it's just an overwhelm for 0 cost, and then it warps something on play. Alright. One Thwarting. Since we played Goku and Vegeta's, we're going to play Thwarting. It's not searchable, unfortunately, but we're going to see it. Just a good one-drop to have. 2 Gohans, 2 Support, and 2 Petrification. This is your defensive lineup. This is pretty similar for most black decks. I would say that the difference would be if you're playing a black deck that has more Overwhelm, you're going to play like Supreme Kai Negate. But this is fine for the deck. You have, between these, Vermilion Saiyans, and like Gohan, you have so many negates, you should be fine. Last card, SS4 Gogeta, Prismatic Burst. This is your 10-drop. Activate main, costs 5. You choose a Goku and a Vegeta from your hand or your battle area and place them on the drop. Play this card from your hand, and it's got 35k quad strike. When this card's played, resolve the following effects based on the colors in your energy. If you have a red energy, you deal damage to your opponent. If you have blue, you draw 3 cards. You have green, your opponent discards 2 cards. If you have yellow, you choose one of your opponent's cards, switch to the rest mode. And if you have black, you warp 2 of your opponent's battle cards on board. This is obviously your boss sponsor for the deck. Incredibly overtuned card, but for 5 energy, it's pretty fair, right? You can burn your opponent to death. You can really kind of set them back by using this card. It's a very crazy card to play, and it costs 5, so you would think it's fair, right? Well, we have a new card in the Z deck that sort of allows you to play this card out for almost nothing, which is going to be the Son Goku and Vegeta Radiant Fusion. All right, this is a mouthful of text. It's a 3-drop, 1 Z energy, 16k with deflect. If you have 3 or more non-black cards represented among black multicolored cards in your energy, reduce energy cost of this card in your Z deck by 1 green. Meaning that it costs 2 energy, but you can pay 2 black. You don't have to pay the green. So it's a 2 cost. That's fine. When this card's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less, ignoring barrier, and KO it. Very interesting that it's a KO. Activate main. If your leader is this leader, you remove this card from the game. During that turn, the next time you activate an activate main skill on a Gogeta Xeno card that is monocolor with an energy cost of 10, or a multicolor with an energy cost of 8 in your hand, reduce the cost of this card by 3. So, let's remember that, right? 3 energy. If you look at the 8-drop, this guy costs 3 energy. So we can free play this guy off of this Goku Vegeta, right? So you play the guy for 2. Your leader's going to restand in energy anyways. But then we can free play this guy. It's a free play 30k double striker that's going to remove 2 things, warp a card from your opponent's hand, and then make our leader a 20k for our opponent's turn. That's good enough, right? Well, this guy also gets reduced, so he only costs 2. So now we can play this guy for 4 energy total, technically. 2 for the Z battle card, and then 2 for the effect. That's crazy. So this card even gets even better now, because now we only have to pay a total of 4 energy, technically, instead of 5. So 1 less energy to play this guy is crazy. Card does so much. This is... I know we were going back and forth with it about like this leader needing a Z leader. I think this is enough support for the deck to make it viable. Having this particular card amongst the other Radiant cards that this deck did get from the support, this card here just gives you a chance to play your boss monsters out for way cheaper, which is kind of what the deck needed. It has deflect, which is great, so it can't be hit by those. There's obviously like window 2 counterplays, but man, this card is great. Yeah, huge fan of this card. So that's 3 slots. So we kind of filled the rest of it with just good black Z cards. We have 2 dimensional fighting spirits, 1 of the new first Kamehameha Mighty Blast. I think most decks are going to run Z extra cards. You kind of just have to run them. They're just too good. And then 1 Majin Pure Destroyer just to kind of round out the Z deck. So that is the deck. It's 53 cards. I think this deck is beautiful. I did add 2 cards here on the side. Gohan is probably a card. I don't know, actually, I think I kind of misclicked on this, but this is the card you would play, obviously. It's a black deck. But this is the card I really wanted to show off, which was the Prismatic Burst card. So this is a card you're probably going to side. But being able to use this effect to negate the skills of a Unison is currently not like a huge thing, because Unisons have kind of gone away. There's not many decks playing Unisons. You have like 21, the other 21, and Golden Frieza, and maybe that's it. There might be some other like weird rogue decks playing Unisons, but not a lot of people are playing Unisons. This card could actually be a lifesaver for you, so you're probably gonna end up siding this card. So this is the deck. Final like opinion on it. I think this deck will become somewhat of competitive relevancy. It's a very sequence heavy deck. And this deck does lose, again, as I said before, 2 decks with early counterplays. So, like, this deck will struggle against yellow because of T-Blow. But there's only so many T-Blows you can have, right? This deck does have a lot of just utility that it can do a lot of stuff. It doesn't have barrier removal, which is, I would say, the problem. Don't really have good barrier removal. So, like, you can side in, like, the Cumber cards, the new Cumber 7 drop that gets rid of barrier. You're going to have to find, like, some cheeky ways of getting around it. But overall, I think it's a solid deck. Definitely a solid deck. So, give it a shot. Definitely probably going to see a deck profile on the channel at some point from Kenny. I'm not playing this deck. But, it's a very cool deck indeed. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are gonna, be interested in playing this deck, let me know if there's some spicy tech you guys find. Let us know down below what you guys think. And that does it for the anniversary support. We'll probably end up doing a podcast following these videos, kind of just going over the anniversary box itself, as well as a tier list. For what we think the meta was going to look like with these new cards coming out. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thank you guys for the support, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.